9 almost.
Now to a hotly anticipated film adaptation of the best-selling book, The Hunger Games. It had its UK premiere last night. Some say it could be as big as the Twilight and Harry Potter franchises.
The story centres around a group of teenagers who have to fight one another in a televised battle to the death. Jennifer Lawrence plays the lead character, 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen. We'll talk to Jennifer in a moment. First, here's a look at the film. Direction, which is a very good thing to do when you're playing in Hunger Games. Good morning, Jennifer.
Morning.
To say this is hotly anticipated is to put it mildly. It is such a huge vibe with teenagers particularly, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
From the popularity of the book, is it? Or what do you think?
Yeah, well, the books were huge, and they were fantastic. 26 million copies, I think. So,
had you read the books before you were approached for the role?
Yeah, I was a huge fan of the books, and then I found out that they were making a movie, and I met with the director.
Yeah.
It's set in an America of the future, no longer called America, I don't think, is it?
No, it's called Pan Am.
And if you can, explain roughly what the setup is.
Yeah, it's this futuristic world where the government has kind of taken over its people by keeping them separated and kind of scared. Every year they have to give 2 of their children, male and female, between 12 and 18, to this televised game. It's a fight to the death. And Katniss, my character, goes in replacement for her younger sister.
Yeah, so it's a very grisly reality show, isn't
Yes.
it? And you're caught right in the middle. Interesting character you play, because she's incredibly strong, but vulnerable too when she first sets out.
Yeah, she's a lot braver than she thinks she is, but she's kind of an interesting hero because she never actually thinks she won't die.
It's an interesting notion, or a bit of a challenge really, putting it together, because having this concept of teenagers fighting each other to their death, and not even, by hand and with knives and stuff, you think it's all a bit gory, and yet at the same time you've got this appeal to the younger audience. So when it comes to making the film, there's that difficulty of how much violence can you actually show.
Yeah, well, we had that because, we had to have a PG-13 rating, but all of us, we didn't want to, unfortunately, the violence and the brutality is kind of the heart of the movie, because it has to make people angry enough to start an uprising. So if we watered down the violence and the brutality, we would have watered down the entire theme of the movie. So, and that in mind, we had a PG-13 rating, which I think helped us because it made the violence very quick.
Yes, it is. It goes. You can see there's something pretty horrible going on, but you don't get to see the details.
How much training did you have to do? There's a lot of archery in there.
Yeah, lots of archery training and combat climbing, agility, and running.
Right. Gosh. So weeks, months. What were you?
A couple months.
A couple of months.
And then it continued throughout the shooting. I had to shoot about 100 arrows a day.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Should we have a look at you practicing? Here we go.
We have that.
Oh, we have that. Be all right, honestly. Wouldn't show you actually practicing your archery behind the scenes.
That's what I thought.
Too cruel. No, that would be too cruel.
And a lovely sort of style to the film, in the sense that when you set up a country in the future, you have to imagine what would people look like. And there's some fantastic hairdos that people have.
It was kind of incredible because, obviously kind of history, and especially in style, repeats itself. Most of our styles are kind of based on 60s, 20s kind of things. So we had to think if this was a future, some of it would be based off today, just kind of an extreme version, obviously.
It must be quite hard, I would imagine, being so, what are you, 21?
Yes.
Yeah. And so many girls have read this book, and boys too, and feel so closely identified with the character. You are still so young. Was that quite a difficult role for you to play? How did you approach it, knowing that there was so much sort of loyalty towards the books and the character?
It was the first thing that I realized when I got offered the part, and then the first thing I had to forget, because I just had to film it like any other movie and just kind of go to work and listen to my own instincts and my director, and just kind of get that out of my mind. As soon as we wrap the movie and we start doing press, then it all comes back. And I'm hoping everybody likes it, nobody hates me. But yeah, during filming, it was kind of, I had to forget about it.
And also, are you prepared for a longer haul? In the sense, how many books are there altogether?
3.
So could this be the first part of a Hunger Games trilogy?
Yes, I think so. We hope so.
Yes. Yeah. By which time your character would be, well, let's see, if it's 60. Well, I don't know. What's the time span of the books altogether?
About 3 years, less,
Okay.
2 to 3 years.
Yeah. So you'd be your character would be 19. You'd play 19 easily.
Maybe. I'll try to stay away from cigarette smoke and out of the sun.
Yeah, that's a very, very good tip. We're going to have another look at the clip. It was premiere last night, and here you are being prepared in the film for the showcase.
Oh.
Here we go.
Combined with just how extreme, possibly, reality television could get. Do you watch much of it?
Yeah, I do. I'm
Yeah.
every part of the obsession.
Any particular shows? Because there's so many of them now.
Yeah, I've just started this one. It taught me how to use TiVo. It's called Doomsday Preppers, and it's about people who base their entire lives on the apocalypse, like it was going to happen tomorrow. And it's my new favorite.
Really?
A reality show based on the apocalypse.
Well, it's based on people thinking the
Preparing for the
apocalypse
apocalypse.
is going to happen.
Wow, that sounds
tomorrow.
cheery.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of good.
Well, no, it's kind of. I mean, it's funny.
Okay.
Like Marilyn laughs. But
Yeah,
it's
I'm not watching it going, okay, and then I'll do that.
It's quite good preparation to get you into the mindset for.
Yeah,
like
I
Hunger
didn't. I
Games.
didn't realize that I was a Hunger Games girl. Also watching the Apocalypse show.
Yeah.
That just hit me.
Jennifer, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank
nice
you.
to see you.
Thank you. Thank
And good luck with the trilogy.
Thank you.
Hunger Games opens in cinemas around the UK on the 23rd of March.
We are really